Hello everyone, this is So Young. Today I just came back from an onboarding trip for the new joiners from a consulting company, and I just want to share some insight or impression I got because it was a very interesting experience for me. So stay tuned. I am a senior consultant in one of the big consulting company, and I have experienced different lives in the past because I have a PhD in neuroscience and then data scientist in a tech company, and now I'm in a different world, consulting. And because of my various background that I have, I was like, this was like super interesting. Very thing that impresses me in this trip is that things are way more posh. I mean, I've never stayed, to be honest, I've never stayed in a Hilton hotel in my life. It was the first time staying in a Hilton hotel, and there was two beds. Why there's two beds? And am I the only one who's staying? That was the question that was coming to me because I'm not used to this kind of setup. What I'm used to do is like going to a youth hostel, staying with colleagues, with 4 people or 6 people even. I mean, if it's a colleague, that's nice. Sometimes you stay with random people as well. And it doesn't matter just because I was a PhD student. No. I just met a friend who is doing a PhD in Berlin, and she said, my colleague and the professor is going to a conference in Florida, and they will share a hotel room together. So you are sleeping together with your supervisor. That's the setup in academia. And now in consulting field, like you stay alone in Hilton Hotel and there is another extra bed that is not in use. Okay, that was very, posh experience that I had in my life. And I mean, tech company, unfortunately, I couldn't go to a trip because there was a corona, but I heard a bunch of stories how, tech companies organize their trip. So they usually, it's something in between. They're not as poor as, people in academia. They're not as posh as consulting. There's something in between. They find, some 4-star hotel and then try to organize something nice for the employees, but it's not as posh as consulting. So this is the difference of, the very first difference between different fields. And but then the activities are also very different. So if you go to a conference in the academic field, you have a little more freedom what you can do. You don't, I mean, there are some small conference, there is only single lane, so you have to just follow the schedule. That is also possible. But then if it's a big conference, you can choose what you want to listen and what kind of poster you want to visit. So, and then you also, most of the people don't go passively. Most of the like 90 or at least more than 50% of the people actually go there to present their work. So it is very much more individual based and it has much more flexibility, but nobody's chasing you like you need to do this because they're doing it for their own, interest and everything, or own collaboration and everything. So the flexibility wise, it is in academia, you have way more freedom. But in consulting trip, what I had was I had only a fixed schedule. I'm supposed to do this, follow this. So flexibility was not, great, but I still learned a lot, It's not that bad, but this is what I experienced. It's just a different setup. In a tech company, a lot of times, company trip is just to have fun. But if you go to some workshop, you also have like flexible what you can attend. You can go to the talk that you're interested in. So it is also more flexible what you can do. And yeah, that's just a different setup. And finally, I just also want to mention the people that I meet in consulting, was super interesting because I'm working more on the data analytics side. My background in finance is not so strong, But then I meet people who are actually into, finance, to know how to, sell their sell the business to the client. There are a bunch of people who are very good. Oh, how can you do an M&A deal, or how you can do, selling some part of the company, or like buy and integrate the company, like all these things. They are very, very talented people who can just, sell the company, like give a talk to other clients. Just within 2 hours, they can present something and then make something out of it. So they are very, very good at producing something very fast. And that that really, really impressed me a lot, because it inspired me. Wow, these are very, very talented people that I'm surrounded with, and it just, impressed me a lot. Oh, there are also people who has interesting backgrounds. Some people said I did my own business, but then sold some part to the co-founder. And it was interesting what he have done, like by just doing trial and error. And I asked. It was very, very interesting to meet such ambitious people as well. Actually, to be honest, before coming to the trip, I had a bit of prejudice about partners. Partners are at the very top level in consulting. And I had a prejudice, these people is going to be very unreachable and they're going to be very conservative, but which was not the case. At least the partners that I met, and I did lots of, one-on-one communication with them, they were very open-minded. They were like, one of the partners said, oh, it's great what you are going for this onboarding trip, because in my case, I never got onboarding trip. All my onboarding trip got canceled, and I'm only here as an instructor, but you guys are having more fun than me. So he was super open about all these conversation. And he's also said, oh, he's from Spain. He said, please respect our lunchtime. Don't make an appointment at 2 p.m. because that's time for us to have lunch. I was like, okay, that's very, very interesting, the practical, problem that what he's facing. But he was very, very open to, just like, I'm very like low level, but he was super open for lots of conversation, which I really enjoyed. And then I also approached to a partner who are more doing analytic work. He wants to, make the tech part more stronger in the consulting field, because a lot of things are manually done using Excel. And this consulting firm is trying to evolve, to more into technology, using more technology to make the process automatic. And when I approached to him, after he gave a talk, I approached him for a drink, and then he was not like telling just, oh yeah, we're doing great. He actually admit that our consulting company is not yet good in tech, and that impressed me. Like, you can only be better when you admit your weakness. And he had this attitude, which impressed me a lot. So he was like super open about all this conversation. And yeah, and then there was another partner. I wanted to talk to her because she organized this whole trip. And she, what impressed of her is that she was not just sitting in her comfort zone. She was intentionally sitting just on her own, that when we are having dinner, she wanted to meet other new joiners instead of, meeting another important person, like, another partner or other more senior manager or directors. She sat on her own, and then, when she sat sitting, there were some new, very junior level people were sitting next to her. So she wanted to, integrate and talk to more junior level people. That was super impressive for me, because, I mean, you are high rank and you don't need to talk to those low rank, but she just wanted to, integrate and talk to young generation, which impressed me a lot. So from the trip, I learned there are very, 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 like open-minded people, even in the consulting field. And I can see from that aspect, this company can do lots of great job, because you're getting young, fresh, blood and trying to, change from the young people, and that was very impressive. And finally, I want to thank the organizer who made this event happen, because to be honest, I was a late joiner and I didn't sign up for the hotel. And I just did a math, like how many people will do a last minute cancellation due to Corona. I did a math calculation, and then I heard that there are more than 200 people. So how many people will do a no show due to Corona? And then I said, okay. When I did the math, it was going to be like 2 or 3 people will have no show, and I thought I was in the first waiting list, so I just came. But actually, there were other waiting list people, and then but in any case, the learning team did a great job, and I got one of the last room that had a last minute cancellation. So, but still, they put a lot more effort for me, and this is the thing that I want to share back. Because of the great job they did, I want to also thank them a lot. Not just clicking, this is what I like. No, no, no. I do a verbal review of the trip, and I hope you guys enjoy this video, and hope to see you soon again. Bye bye.